The rainy season has once again returned to eastern Uganda, but for the people of Sebei sub-region, it comes with fear, not relief. Because here, when the rain falls, the earth sometimes follows. In the early hours of Saturday morning, tragedy struck the districts of Kapchorwa and Bukwo when massive landslides tore through the hills, burying homes, destroying crops, and leaving families in tears. At least 7 people have been confirmed dead and 15 others are still missing after hours of continuous rainfall loosened the fragile slopes. The worst hit Kapsomosel in Kapchorwa municipality and Kabielo parish in Bukwo district. At around 5:30 a.m., after heavy rainfall, the ground gave way completely, burying a home with 7 members of the same family. All 7 were related. Among them, 26-year-old Charity Chelangat, a fresh nursing graduate from Mulago School of Nursing and Midwifery, her sisters Kovia and 2 toddlers, Tracy and Divine. Family member Joseph Cherukut told Uganda Radio Network that Charity had returned home from her graduation ceremony only a day earlier. As night fell, the rain began and she decided to sleep at her stepmother's home for safety. But before dawn, the hillside above them collapsed. The soil came down with huge stones and trees. Everything was swept away. We tried to dig with our hands, but it was too late. The landslide carried massive boulders and uprooted eucalyptus trees that crashed through homes, flattening everything in their path. Cherukut fears another disaster could strike soon, warning that a large loose boulder still hangs dangerously above the same slope. In Bukwo district, the story is no different. Around the same time, 4 families were buried alive when another wave of mud and rock swept through Kabielo parish in Cheptoek sub-county. 3 bodies have so far been recovered, but 15 people remain missing. The Kapchorwa-Bukwo road is blocked again by mud and debris, the same spot that was hit just 3 days ago. The destruction extends beyond homes and lives. Hundreds of livestock and acres of crops have been destroyed, cutting off food supplies and isolating entire communities. As recovery efforts continue, local leaders are appealing for urgent help.
We have also information that in Chesawer, that is in Bukwo district, we have so far confirmed 3 dead bodies and 11 missing people. Of course, we are informed that this landslide was able to cover 4 homesteads. 4 homesteads were buried, and therefore, in that scenario, what we know is that they are now out of the number which they estimate to be in this house, in this homestead. 11 are still missing. So we can confirm 11 deaths in the overnight rains which occurred. And this morning can confirm the 7 deaths.
Phyllis Chemutai, the woman member of parliament for Kapchorwa district, has called on the office of the Prime Minister to immediately deliver relief and resettlement support.
Of late, we have had disasters in Kapchorwa district, mainly caused by heavy rains. For the first time in Kapchorwa district to have rains throughout the night and throughout the day for so long. And we have never had disasters like what we have had now, what we are having now. We have never had stones rolling from the rocks, from the cliffs, and then hitting houses and killing people. It has been rare. And land sliding from the cliffs and killing people. So what I'm urging to my people is to move away from those disaster risk areas. There are many. There are cliffs all over the region, and I'm urging them to move away. Yesterday I was talking to the people. We have been knowing it like in one of the sub-counties only. That is Kamogo sub-county. It happened some time back, but he has never killed the people. But the landslides buries houses. The stones roll from the mountains and then bury houses. But I've told them to move away from there, but they are now saying moving away to go where? So I'm calling upon government to come in to intervene so that we can see where our people can be taken. At least the government has intervened for Duda victims, and they have settled them down here in Budambuti. So we also feel like government should come in now and settle our people down there, because these areas are becoming very risky for our lives.
The retrieved bodies have been taken to Chemutai Health Center and will later be transferred to Kapchorwa Hospital mortuary for postmortem. These latest landslides come barely days after a similar tragedy in Kapchorwa and Bukwo, where 7 more lives were lost in another mudslide. The cycle of disaster seems unending, with every storm threatening to erase another village from the hillsides of Sebei. Tonight, families in the highlands remain anxious, watching the clouds above and praying the earth beneath them holds firm. For now, the search for the missing continues, and the Sebei region grieves once more. Story compiled by William Cheptoek, Uganda Radio Network, Sebei Sub-Region.